So yesterday we got 4 new alter egos added to UFC 5. We got a new character model for Daniel Hooker with all his new tattoos. This look was debuted at UFC 305 in 2024, and I think the new model looks really freaking good. Now his stats didn't really change at all, besides them switching up some of his top moves as well as his perks. But I know this one has been requested quite a bit, so it's really nice to see him finally get updated. We also got Robbie Lawler from UFC 40 in 2002. This was his fight against Tiki Gosen. I think I said that man's name correctly. A fight he won in the first round by knockout. He has some really decent stats in this one, like his punch power of 97, his head movement of 96, and his recovery of 97. You know, Robbie is a veteran of this sport, man, and it's always nice when we get a new alter ego of him. So, really happy with this one. They also gave us Amanda Nunes, the Lioness, from UFC 232 in 2018. This was the day Amanda shocked everyone and took out Chris Cyborg by knockout. Now, Amanda has always been a 5-star fighter in this game, and this new alter ego is no different. Actually, it's way more cracked. She has a nasty 100 punch power, a punch speed of 97, switch stance of 98, and not to mention her ground striking as well as her health stats. Let me tell you, she is absolutely cracked out. More cracked out than she already was to begin with. So, there you have it. Lastly, we got Dan Henderson from UFC 100. This was the day Dan Henderson almost killed Michael Bisping with that brutal overhand. Now, to be able to use his alter ego, you have to unlock him through Punch Card. And if you lack the patience to grind for it, you can always just purchase him for 2,300 points, which is almost $30. And let me tell you guys, man, in this economy, bro, I ain't doing all that right now. So we're going to have to put Hendo on a shelf for now and get back to him later. So in the meantime, we're going to go do a fighter showcase for the rest of these guys. So enjoy. Alrighty, here we go. EA with some new alter egos. I'm going to start things off with Dan Hooker. This man went from, I believe, having like no tattoos or like maybe 1 or 2 tattoos to covering himself in freaking tattoos. I think the ones on his leg, on his calf, I think those were there before. But man, at UFC 305, this was his fight against Mateusz Gamrot. I think I know who I'm facing right here. Lemire. I think I know who this is right here. This guy's an interesting fella. Yeah, I think that's him. I think that's him. Yeah, let's put a beating on this man real quick. So like I was saying, Dan, just the way he went from barely having any tattoos to like covering his chest, his arm, his back, I believe. Or maybe I'm just drawing a blank, but I think, if I remember correctly, you know, I'm not even gonna guess. I should have probably looked at it before making this video, but there you go, man. The model looks exactly like him. Exactly like him. EA has been cooking with these newer character models right now, which makes me very excited to see what the character models in UFC 6, there we go, will look like. There we go. Sit him down. I don't think it's him, though. The guy I'm facing right now, he's kind of fighting like him. He always has this weird thing he does, a weird style, and the lunging and the random lateral moving strikes kind of looks like him a little bit. But the guy I'm facing right now just, I don't know, doesn't seem as skilled. So I don't know. Careful. I'm trying to use the elbow as a way to like intercept him as he tries to. Oh, that was so gorgeous, man. I love when hyper-realistic intercepting shots, actually works in this game. That was actually a left hook over the top of the jab. Like, that is just gorgeous, man. Try to do it again. Besides that, yeah, this dude is all over the place, man. all over the place. And I know what he's trying to do. It's just not going to work. No. Speaking of UFC 6, it almost seems like you guys are more excited or more looking forward to UFC 6 than you guys were looking forward to UFC 5. Is it? I don't know if it's because UFC 5 has been such a disappointment. I don't know, but I will say this, though. Look at that. Look at that left hook over the jab, boys. That was nice. That was sick. That was very sick. Let me know in the comment section below. I think I already know what the answer is going to be to this question, but... Okay. He's going to switch things up and start grappling me. All right. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this. What do you think UFC 6 is actually... Do you think UFC 6 is going to deliver? I guess that's the question I have for you guys. I think I know what the answer is going to be. I think a lot of you guys are going to say hell no, just because it's EA. But I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think we're going to get most of what we want? A bit of what we want? None of what we want? Do you think it's going to be UFC 5.5? Oh, man. I didn't have, like the whole UFC 4.5 thing. It really was funny. It was. I was just kind of in a very butthurt kind of mood for a better part of the year that I just didn't have enough time to, like, kind of enjoy some of the play on words that you guys did. You know, some of the things you guys were saying were very funny. It really was. And now I can kind of laugh at it because, like, oh, that shit's over. Nope. But you guys were not wrong. You were not wrong at all. You know, that in a lot of ways, UFC 5 is UFC 4.5. So here's to me hoping. No, he's gonna turn this into a grappling match. Okay. Here's to me hoping that 6 is not gonna be UFC 5.5. For that to happen, man, there's got to be some, like, innovation. You know what I mean? Like, right away, right off the bat, as soon as we load up the game, it's got to look, like, clearly different from UFC 5. You know what I mean? It can't look like just a tiny shade difference in terms of the way it looks. But I do think the graphics will improve. I think the character models for sure will look more modern, will look better, more accurate. Besides that, I mean, I know some shit, but, like, you know, we are yet to see, boys. We are yet to see. My hope is that before the year ends, that EA will say something or show something. You know what I mean? And I understand why they're being very... Oh, got him out of there. You know, a big reason why they're being very, very careful right now with what they put out there and all, even what they tell us, is leaks. You know, the leaks for UFC 5 were absolutely horrendous, man. You know, a lot of that game was leaked. And I think industry-wide right now, like, just straight up, every developer, every studio, they're tightening things up in regards to leaks. I mean, we saw this, we've seen the same thing with GTA. I know a bunch of developers were fired because they were, like, I guess, leaking information. It's a big deal, you know what I mean? So a lot of these developers, man, they do not want their games leaked. So if we see a long time passing without hearing anything about UFC 6, seeing any, you know, news, no screenshots, no videos, nothing, anything like that, it's, you know, they're just trying to be very careful with the leaks. That's what I would guess, you know. All right, boys, let's move on to the next. Here we go, boys. Next one is Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler, UFC 40. I have not seen that fight in a long freaking time, bro. I haven't seen that match in a long, long time. I think his opponent's name was, like, Ricky or Tiki. It was either Ricky Dawson or Tiki something. I don't even remember what that man's face looks like. Hold on a sec here, but here we go. Another nice character model. Looks just like Robbie Lawler at that time. Ooh, all right. I can tell my opponent wants to try to get away from the cage, but I'm going to try to keep him right there with just cutting off the cage. Wherever he's going, I'm going to try to track him. See that, how I'm doing that right here? This is just keeping him boxed in. And one thing that I noticed that a lot of you guys, when I watch you guys play sometimes, you forget that to actually box somebody in, you need to give him a little bit of space. If you're too close, you end up following them. So like if I'm here the whole time and he starts circling, I'll end up following him. So a lot of times, to actually box somebody in, you gotta back up a little bit. Can't believe it let me get that. Gotta back up a little bit, and then you can not follow, but you can head them off. You can head them off. Right here, right here, right here. It's like it's a beautiful, and this game does such a good job of allowing you to like fine-tune the distance. Like if you find yourself, okay, I'm a little bit too close, you can just back up slightly. If you're too far, you can enter the pocket just a little bit. To the body. Nice. Careful. Yeah, I knew he was going to go to the head. I'm going to be very careful with these head kicks. The head kicks from Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in this game, he's got very unique head kick animations, and they don't have any wind up to them. So this man, his head movement is very good. I don't like how that kind of glitches a little bit when you catch. I personally do not like the fact that we can catch the turn inside kicks to the body. I've always hated those. And I'm really hoping that's not going to be a thing. There we go. Woo! Actually, hold on. I want to stand back up. All right, here we go. That was a very good first round. I feel like I have my opponent right where I want him. I want to just keep him against the cage. I mean, then again, if he really wanted to get off the cage, he could. But I know I'm also making his life very difficult in regards to that. I'm not making it easy for him at all. And we're going to keep that thing going, man. So the alter egos I'm going to be using today. So we already did Dan Hooker. I'm going to finish up this Robbie Lawler. And then there is Amanda Nunes. And then there's Dan Henderson. But the Dan Henderson one it's a punch card. And if I don't want to... Oh, that was very close. If I don't want to wait till I earn him through, the punch card, whatever, I'm going to have to pay like $30 just to get him. And I'm not doing that, boys. I'm just not doing that. In this economy, man. Hey, no. Hey. I got kids to feed, boy. I am not doing that. Stay down. I really wish they would stop doing that punch card shit. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's annoying. Uppercut. No. Ooh, my uppercut phase into his body right there. Oh my God. What did I get hit with? Was that a right hook? I think it was a right hook. There we go here. No. No. He keeps trying to get me with... Oh! He keeps trying to get me with that straight punch to the head, followed by the head kick. He's done that multiple times. It's just not going to work. Like, I've keyed in on that. Keyed in on that now. Boom. Oh. About to get rocked again. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. I will sidestep and overhand you. Oh! Hey, yo. That was wild. I was not expecting that. You know, loaded up that nice overhand. I did not think he was going to just die right there, but we'll take it, boys. We'll take it. We'll take it. Man, I'm tired as hell. So there you have it. Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler. Always nice getting a Robbie Lawler alter ego. We're going to move on to Amanda Nunes, and that's going to be it. Kind of save the... This is probably where a lot of you guys are going to stop watching, because you guys do not care at all about female fighters in this game. So, let's do it. Ooh, here we go. Amanda Nunes. Was it UFC 232, I think? 2018. Oh my God. Father Ninth. You are losing your mind right away. This was, every time I see this particular outfit from Amanda Nunes, I just remember what she did to Cyborg in that fight. You know, Cyborg was caught off guard, I think. Cyborg has always been known as, like, the powerhouse. You know, she's the most powerful female fighter on the planet. And I think she just, you know, when Amanda stood there and, like, all right, let's go. And Amanda was, like, trading power with her. She was like, let me show Amanda. And Amanda just took her head off, bro. Took her head off, like slumped her. I think Cyborg realized fairly late as they exchanged. She was already hurt when she realized, oh God, this is a different girl, man. This ain't like the other ones. This is a different beast. All right. My opponent is like trying to intercept me, but I think I got her figured out. I got the player figured out. I don't know why I always assume that, like, when it's a female fighter, the player is a girl too. I always say have her figured out. So weird. No. There we go. Mm-hmm. All right. That's what it is. They wants me to, like, stay chasing him, I guess, so he can keep intercepting me. We're gonna slowly start making him whiff right now and take away his confidence. A lot of players lose confidence when you start making them whiff, when they feel like you've got them figured out. There we go. Are you quitting? I was just talking about this. I literally made a video about this the other day, talking about the kinds of quitters and what it says about you. This is the... What was my name for this quitter? This is the skill check quitter right here. That's the skill check quitter. When they realize, oh my God, this guy is better than me or on my level, I'm just gonna quit out. A skill check quitter. Oh, nice. All right, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Amanda Nunes. Hopefully we don't get another skill check quitter. Or drop quitter. Or a hypocrite quitter. Oh. And I was reading the comments on the video. You guys were telling me, oh my God. Oh, we got a pressure fighter. Hold on. We got to gain some respect. There we go. Okay. Yeah. When I sit you down, you're going to realize. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's how a lot of you expect me to talk when you come up here. You're like, man, I can't believe you're black. How come you don't sound black, boy? How come you don't sound black, bruh? You don't say shit like, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? I'm like, bro, I did not grow up in the United States of America. Maybe if I did, maybe. Hey, Nalani, one. But one thing that's very important to remember is Nigeria was colonized by the British. And the accent, the Nigerian accent, it's like a African version of the British accent. So the way, the way Black Americans speak in this country, it's a very unique thing. You know what I mean? It's a very, very unique thing. And you're not gonna sound like that unless you grew up here. Hey, God, I love this shit so much. There's a solution for everything. There's a solution for everything. My opponent started off with aggression, pressure. Stood my ground, rocked the player, sat him down. Then they started backing up a little bit. Solution to that, of course, walk him down. And then my opponent started with the jab, jab, the circle and jab, jab. And that's when the forward moving slip counters start to come into play. You know, that's actually how it was designed to be used. When you've got somebody jabbing so much, that's when you start forward moving, slipping, coming up with the uppercut. I prefer the forward moving slip uppercut just because it's different from like what everybody else does, which is the forward moving slip hook. I'm just so sick of seeing that damn strike. I rarely ever use it. So most times when I use the forward moving slip, I throw an uppercut in there. I just think it's more aesthetically pleasing to me personally. But that'll do it. I feel like I rambled all over the place. It's just, you know, just went all over the place. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like I said, Dan Henderson is another one that was added, but we'll take a look at him later. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like on it. See you later. Peace out. Have a good one.